Here we are with the Dell Optiplex GX270. Now, I've plugged the power supply in, the VGA cable and the mouse and the keyboard. And what do you know? It powered right up. And that's what we got. We have Windows XP. So, there is nothing wrong with this computer, so it doesn't need to be repaired or refurbished. What I usually do is get a paintbrush and go through and brush everything off. Now, you want to get the electrostatic off your hands or wear some type of gloves when you do this, because you don't want to send a shock in there. I'm going to go through, I'm going to look at the software a little bit more and reinstall Windows, probably professional on here. But if it came down to the case of having to do a diagnostic on this, there are shortcuts, and I'm going to tell you what those shortcuts are. First, replace the RAM. Probably if you go into your BIOS, it's going to tell you what your RAM is. So once you have a total knowledge of your RAM, it's probably working well. However, some machines people strip parts off before they throw away. That may have something to do with it. If you got it free or out of, went dumpster diving or something like that. Anyhow, if you got it free from someone, they probably didn't do that. So this is just a perfectly working machine. The other way to do it is your trusty little voltmeter. If you put the voltmeter up to the power source, which is right there, you should be getting some type of power out of it. Put your voltmeter ends, actually you want to set it on the at least 160 amps. Make sure you make that reading. Get some type of amperage out there. Do it on the battery. Do it on all your IDE power cables, and that'll tell you if the power supply is working. You can also just put in a new power supply because it's 160. You could go with the 250 if you have it, or even a 300 if you have it, but you're going to have to redo all these connectors. Insofar as your BIOS and your firmware, that's where it gets really, really difficult. You have to flash drive the firmware, and you have to reset the BIOS and start from scratch. That means you have to know the BIOS inside out, and you have to know that the firmware has not been upgraded. So you have to download that and flash it, or put it on a disk and flash it. Other than that, you could have simple things such as the power cord. If someone tried to rebuild it, they put the on-off button in the wrong slot, because these things are very difficult to read. Or just your couple things maybe all messed up. Other than that, because it's a VGA built in, you can't switch out the VGA. Now, if you're not getting anything out of the monitor, most likely it's going to be the onboard graphics. So that pretty much. Now, from this point, because it's a good working machine, I'm just going to take it and transfer it to a toolless box, and it's running really good. It's quiet. There seems to be no noise from it whatsoever. It's just a matter of getting a new box for it and transferring all the parts over there, and that's gonna be a very quick rebuild restoration. Alright, later.